Hi, my name's Kate Taylor and I'm going to be leading you through a 30-minute stretch and release class. Perfect for if you've been doing a lot of strength work throughout the week or if you just want to improve your mobility and flexibility. For this workout, you just need a mat, and if you've got blocks, grab a couple of them. If you don't have any blocks, a couple of thick books or something like that would be useful as a replacement. So we're going to start lying all the way down on our backs. So when you're ready, come all the way down, lying on the back of the body. Just take a couple of little movements, a couple of little wiggles, just to make sure you feel comfortable here. And then we're going to start by taking a couple of deep breaths. So take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out through the mouth. One more like this, big breath in and a big breath out. And then we're going to start to move from here. So next time you inhale, we're going to reach the hands up above the head. Take a big stretch here. So lengthen into the feet, lengthen into the fingertips. Make yourself as long as you can into that body. And then we're going to draw the knees in towards you. Just take hold in front of the shins and take a couple of little rocks from side to side. From here, we'll bring the soles of the feet down onto the ground, and then that left foot is going to stay where it is. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Flex into that right foot, and just notice how that feels on your right outer hip. For some of you, you will already feel this stretch. If you can feel that right outer hip, stay as you are. If you need a little bit more, draw the left knee in towards the body. So just take hold behind that left thigh. So the deeper you bring this knee in towards the body, the more you will feel this stretch. So just take it to a point that works for you. And then we'll take a couple of breaths here. Just using your slow, steady inhales and slow, steady exhales, just to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Take another full breath here. And then slowly release. So bring the sole of that left foot down to the ground. This time we'll extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take hold behind the right thigh. And just give that ankle a little bit of rotation here. So send your foot in circles one way. And then go ahead and switch directions, circle it the other way. Bring that foot to stillness, flex the toes towards the shin, and just put a little bit of pressure on the back of that thigh. So we're not pulling or forcing anything here. It's just a little bit of pressure just to ease that leg in closer towards the body. Take a couple of full breaths here, really stretching down the back of the hamstring, maybe noticing this in the calf a little bit. Really try to send the heel up towards the ceiling. And then slowly bend that right knee and we'll switch sides. So bring the sole of the right foot down. Cross that left ankle over the right knee. Flex that foot. Again, you might feel this in the left outer hip, but if you don't, you can draw that right knee in towards the body, take hold behind the right thigh. Now, you might feel like this side is tighter than the other side, or you might feel like there's a bit more space. Don't worry. We are all a little uneven in the hips, so you might have one side that is more flexible than the other, where you could draw the knee in closer to the body. Or this side might be your tighter side, your foot might be still on the ground. Just let go of any expectations that this will feel the same on both sides of the body. Take another full breath here. So breathe it in and slowly breathe out. And then as you exhale, next time we'll bring that right foot back to the ground. Extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Take hold behind that left thigh. And then just go ahead and circle out that left ankle. You might hear a couple of clicks or cracks in these ankles as you circle them. Just finding yourself a little bit of movement, a little bit of mobility there. And then take those circles in the opposite way. Bring that foot to stillness, flex the toe towards the shin, and just have a little bit of pressure on the back of that left leg. Now this leg does not have to be fully straight. You can have a little softness in the knee if that feels better for you, but try to send the sit bones down towards the ground and send the heel up towards the ceiling. Slowly release that stretch. Bring the foot back onto the ground. Bring the arms out into a cactus shape, so shoulders are down, backs of the hands are on the ground, and then bring the feet quite wide. Just drop those knees off from side to side. So slow and steady here. Really nice. From here, we're going to bring those knees back into center. Hug them in towards the body, and we're going to come up to a seated position. So just get there in a way that works for you in your body. Once you're in that seated position, you can be cross-legged if this is comfortable for you, or you can be kneeling or send the legs out in front of you. It's not really important, but try to be long in the spine. So imagine there's a piece of string on the crown of the head and someone is pulling it up towards the ceiling. So we're lengthening here. And then we're going to start to work into the upper body. So drop that right ear to the right shoulder. Slowly take chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Just keep going with these little semicircles. Moving slowly. Starting to open up the sides of the neck, perhaps the tops of the shoulders. Next time that right ear comes to the right shoulder, pause it there. Draw the chin into the chest. And then if you want a little bit more, you can extend that left arm, left thumb points down towards the ground. You can either hold it here or you can send that arm behind the back. But try not to really lean towards the side. Try to keep the spine in center. It's only the head that is moved. Take another breath here. And then slowly release. Bring that hand back from behind the back. Both hands find the knees. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll bring that opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. Draw the chin towards the collarbone a little. Just notice the stretch all the way down the right hand side. And then extend that right arm, thumb points towards the ground. Again, you can hold it here, or you can bring that hand behind the back. Just opening up that shoulder, opening up the neck. Take a couple of full, deep breaths. And then release that hand, come back to center. Restack the spine. Good. From here, we're going to open the arms out wide. So send the thumbs to the back of the room. Open up the chest, open the front of the body. And then we'll go the opposite way. So as you exhale, bring the hands towards you, bring them to center, and then interlace the hands, press them forwards, drop the chin into the chest. As you inhale, lift the hands up high, extend into the sides of the body. As you exhale, release. We'll take that one more time. So arms come out wide. Send the thumbs to the back of the room. Palms of the hands face upwards. As you exhale, round into that upper back. Interlace the hands. Drop the chin into chest. Push those hands forwards. As you inhale, we'll lift the hands high up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, release. Fingertips come down by the sides of the body. This time from here, we're going to leave those right fingertips on the ground. The left hand is going to reach up and over. So you might start to bend into that bottom elbow. Keep your left sit bones pinned towards the ground. So we're not leaning and lifting here. We're extending into that left-hand side of the body. Perhaps you look up towards the ceiling. Try to avoid that top arm from dropping in. We're not rotating here. We're opening the chest up towards the sky. And then switch sides. So come all the way back through center. Bring the left fingertips down this time. Right hand reaches up and over. Maybe that bottom elbow bends slightly, but you're really pinning those right sit bones to the ground. Letting that right hand side of the chest open towards the ceiling. Maybe you can look up. Slowly releasing from here, and then we'll take it into a twist. So bring your left hand to your right knee. Right fingertips reach behind you. Look over that back shoulder. So finding that rotation from the center of the body. Taking a couple of full, deep breaths here. With every inhale, trying to grow a little taller in the spine. And with every exhale, trying to twist a little bit deeper. Slowly release, come back to center, switch sides. So bringing that right hand to the left knee, left fingertips come behind you. Again, grow tall in the spine. See if you can look over that back shoulder. Really good. Can you get any more space between the vertebrae by pulling the crown of the head upwards? And then can you twist any further around? We'll slowly release that twist, come back to center. From here, we're going to find a tabletop position. So bring your hands to the top of the mat and then come onto the knees. So you want to make sure that you check your alignment here. So make sure that the shoulders are above the wrists and then the hips are above the knees. Spread the fingers wide. And then we'll take it through our cat-cow. So I want you to really feel this movement ripple through the spine. So starting with the tailbone, we'll stick the bum out, drop the belly down. Let that movement move to the mid-back and then into the upper back. And then finally lift the crown of the head. And then we'll take that back the other way. So starting from the tailbone by tucking under. Let that movement move into the lower back. Start to round the mid-back. Really round the upper back, pressing it up towards the ceiling. Drop chin into chest. Keep going with this movement. So always initiating the movement from the tailbone. Allowing that movement to ripple up the spine, and then the head is the last thing that moves each time. Moving slowly with control. We'll take a couple more here. And then taking your time to finish that last movement, bring the spine into neutral. From here, we're going to lift the left leg and then we're going to step it forwards between the hands. So that foot is grounded. We're kneeling on that right knee. And then we're going to lift up into a lunge. So reach the hands up to the ceiling. Try to make sure that you're not just kneeling here. We're not here. We're pressing the hips down and then we're opening the front of the body. So look up towards the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths here. See if you can really lengthen all the way down that right-hand side of the body by tucking the bum under slightly, pressing the hips forward. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to release the hands down by the sides of the feet. Now, this is where you might need your blocks or your bricks. If you feel like the floor is too far away from you, you can use the blocks to support you. So you can either have them on the lowest height or even a little bit higher. Just choose what works for you in your body. And then we're going to find a hamstring stretch from here. So we're going to start to pull the bum backwards, straightening into that left leg, flexing the left toes. As you inhale, we're going to bend that knee and come forwards, lifting the chest, lifting the head. Keep going with that movement, just pulling backwards. That left leg doesn't have to come fully straight. You can have a little bend in the knee if that feels good to you. And then we'll re-bend the knee, come forwards, crown of the head lifts, open the chest. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, bend that knee, come forwards. And then final time, we're going to pull back and hold it there. So really try flex the toes on that left foot. Press the left heel down and pull that left heel back towards you. So you're activating the back of that leg. And then send the left hip back in space. Try not to be here, rounding the spine. So try to send the sit bones to the back of the room, send the crown of the head forwards. Even if this left knee is bent, you'll still find a nice stretch down the back of that leg. Take another breath here. And then we'll slowly re-bend that front knee. So we're back in that lunge position. From here, we're going to find a little bit more rotation. So your right hand is going to stay down on your block. As you inhale, you're going to peel that left hand up, reach up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you're going to bring that left hand towards the ground. 2 more. We'll inhale, lift, we'll open. We'll exhale, we'll lower it down. Good. Last one. Inhale, lift and open. Press into that bottom hand, reach the top fingertips up to the ceiling. Really try to find that rotation in the spine here. And then we'll slowly release. This time we're going to bring that left hand to the inside of the left foot. Now move your block out of the way. If you had it, just pop them to one side. And then you're just going to step that left foot over to the left and turn the toes off to the side of the mat a little. Now you've got options here with the hands. We're stretching into the hips here. If the hands being on the ground feels too far away, if you feel like you don't have enough space in the hips, you can use one of your blocks and put the hands on. Or you can have the hands onto the ground. Or if you've got a little bit more space, you can bring forearms to the ground or even forearms to that block. It's totally up to you. Just take an option that works for you in your body. But we're going to take a couple of full deep breaths here, trying to sink the hips down towards the ground, trying to send the crown of the head forwards. Take one more deep breath here. And then we'll slowly walk the hands back in. So if you had the elbows down, just pop that block out of the way. Bring palms of the hands back to the ground. And then we're going to bring that left knee back to meet the right knee. Bring the knees wide from here. Send the hips back towards the heels. So find a child's pose. Reach the fingertips forwards. Reach the sit bones backwards. So lengthen into the back of the body. And then we're going to take all of that on the second side. So make your way back to a tabletop position. Check that alignment. The hips are above the knees. The shoulders are above those hips. And then we're going to start off by lifting that right leg, stepping it forwards between the hands. Now, if your right foot only gets to here, you can use your hand to help you. Just make sure it's stepped all the way to the top of the mat. And then we're finding that lunge position, so lifting the hands high, sending the hips forwards and down. So tucking the bum under slightly, finding that length here, so into the front of that left hand hip. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Even though the arms are elevated, we're not shrugging the shoulders upwards, we're pulling them down the back. And then see if you can just look up towards the ceiling. Take a breath here. And then slowly bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Again, this is where you might need your blocks. You can go with hands on the ground or you can elevate them a little. It'll all depend on how this feels in your body. But then we're going to pull backwards and forwards. So this time we're straightening that right leg, sending the right hip backwards, flexing the right toes, bending that right knee, coming forwards, lifting the chest, lifting that. Just take a few of these, moving with your own time, with your own breath. Remember that right leg does not have to go fully straight. You can keep a little softness in the right knee if that feels better for your body. Take one more here. And then next time you pull back, pause and hold here. So really flex into the right toes, pull them up towards the shin. Press the right heel into the mat and pull it back towards you. Again, we're not rounding into the spine, so try not to be here. Try to stick the sit bones out. Send the crown of the head forwards. Take another breath. And then on your next exhale, we'll rebend that right knee. Move your right hand block out of the way. That left hand can stay on the block or it can come to the ground, but we're going to find those rotations. So as you inhale, we'll lift the right hand up to the ceiling, find your twist. As you exhale, right hand comes towards the ground. Take a couple more. Inhaling, lifting, reaching, twisting. Exhaling, lowering down. One more time, we'll inhale to lift, press into that bottom hand, top hand reaches high. And then we'll go for that hip stretch. So lower the right hand down, bring it to the inside of the right foot, step that right foot towards the right. So you can even turn the toes so that they're just off the mat. Same options as before. So the hands can be elevated onto that block. The hands can be on the ground. Forearms can be on your block or forearms can be on the ground. Now, quite how far down you go here will all depend how you feel in your body. So take an option that works for you and then we'll just pause it there. Taking a couple of full, deep breaths. So really try send the hips down to the ground, send the crown of the head forwards. Breathing in and slowly breathing. Take one more full deep breath. And then we'll release that stretch. So walk the hands back in. Move your block out of the way. We don't need it for now. And then just step that right knee back to meet the left. Again, we'll bring the toes together. We'll bring the knees out quite wide and draw the bum back towards the heels. Finding your child's pose here. So send the hips backwards, pull the fingertips forwards. Take a couple of full deep breaths in this central position. And then we're just going to take it from side to side. So walk the hands towards the right hand side of the mat. Really reach the left fingertips forwards, send the left hip backwards, and then press that left armpit down towards the ground. Perhaps the gaze comes towards the right. Take another breath here. And then we'll switch sides. So walk both hands towards the left this time. Right fingertips reach forwards, right hip pulls back in space. That right armpit presses down to the ground and the gaze comes towards the left. Slowly make your way back to center. We'll walk the hands back in towards the body and then we'll just find a seated position again. So bring those legs off to one side and come down onto the mat. Good. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and just let those knees open up. Now, if in this position you feel like the knees are really lifted, you can shuffle those heels further forwards, or if they're still lifted, just sit yourself on one of your blocks or even on a cushion. And we're just going to try to send those knees down towards the ground. So take hold of the ankles. Draw the crown of the head up tall. Find a bit of softness into those inner hips. And then we're going to slowly fold forwards from here. So hinging from the hips and then finding a little roundness into the spine. Now you have options for the hands. They might take hold of the feet and stay as they are. Or if you have a little bit of space to do so, you might walk the fingertips forwards. But just take a couple of breaths here. See if you can really soften into the body. Soften the hips. Soften the knees down towards the ground. Slowly walk the hands back in. Take an inhale, lift all the way back up. And then from here, we're going to keep that right knee bent. Straighten the left leg. Bring the sole of that right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Try to flex the left toes towards you, Lift the hands up high, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, fold over that long leg. So for some of you, you'll be able to reach the foot, but it is really not important. If you have the reach of the foot, you can bring the elbows wide and come all the way down. But if you're here and this is where you can reach to, just stay as you are. Focus on pulling those toes towards the shin, lengthening down the back of that left leg and trying to use your breath. So every exhale, you sink down a little further. Take a couple more here. Breathing in slowly. And breathing out slowly. One more. Breathe in. And out. As you inhale, we'll come all the way back up to seated. And then we'll find a little twist from here. So your left hand finds the right knee, right fingertips come behind you, look over that back shoulder. Take another breath. And then slowly release, come back to center. We'll switch sides. So go ahead and straighten into that right leg, bend at the left knee, sole of the left foot comes to the inside of that thigh. Good. Flex the toes on that right foot. When you're ready, take an inhale, reach up high, and then exhale to fold over that foot. Again, whether you reach the foot, whether the fingertips are either side of the leg, or whether you're just holding onto that shin, will totally depend on you and your body. Just take it to a point that works for you. But keep lengthening down the back of that long leg by flexing the toes towards you. And then see if you can use your breath to sink down a little bit further. Take one more full breath here. And then as you inhale, come all the way back up to seated. Recross those legs. Send the crown of the head up tall, bring the hands onto the knees. We'll take one more big stretch here. So we'll take an inhale, we'll open those arms out wide, opening into the front of the body, looking up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring those hands in front of you, interlace them, press them forwards, drop the chin into chest. Lift the hands up high, extend into the sides of the body, push up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release those hands down. Take a couple of rolls of the shoulders, rolling them backwards. Let those shoulders settle down. Find that posture. Be heavy in the sit bones on the ground. Let the upper body be light. Pull the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Slide your hands into your heart center. And well done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that class and we'll see you soon.